Jiggy, Nando. It's Thursday. We're doing some start sit. You ready, Jake?
I'm ready.
You excited, Jake?
Super excited.
All right, let's do it. I want to start with, I think, the most interesting player this week. Le'Veon. Actually, I don't think he is, but a lot of people do. Le'Veon Bell. I don't know what to do about him, Jakey. Like he's coming off the IR. He's coming into a pretty bad situation that's kind of bereft of offensive help. Maybe Jamison Crowder will be ready. But what are you doing? What are you doing with Le'Veon? Where do you have him ranked?
Let me check. I know he's in the RB2 conversation for me. Hey, and look, Gase today actually complimented him, I think, for the first time ever.
Really?
Yeah. I'm at RB22, one spot in front of Kenyon Drake. That's how bad Kenyon Drake's been. Like, ask you this, would you start Drake or Bell?
All this Chase Edmonds talk, and I'm a Fordham guy, so I already like Chase Edmonds. It has me a little scared off. I didn't like Kenyon Drake to begin with, really. I think maybe you made that point. Someone did, about how if you go through his game logs last year, he had 3 big games and 4 bad ones.
65% of his production in 3 of the games. That was amazing. Yeah. But I didn't even expect it to be this bad.
I didn't either. Yeah.
So, but the thing with Le'Veon Bell is, so what I did for the newsroom, as you know, is I put the fact that Joe Flacco for his career is top 10 at targeting running backs, and it was even greater towards the end of his career. I say starting career. Right. We know he likes to throw to running backs, and that's the thing. The arm got worse, and so he started checking down even more. Le'Veon Bell's, it might only be 18 touches for 65 yards, but it's guaranteed production.
But I mean, do you think that's what he's gonna? Is this gonna be like let's go, 80% of the snaps, or is this gonna be 50%? Let's ease you back a little bit.
Gase said he looks better than he did in week 1.
That's coach speak, though, Jake. Right?
No, but it's Adam Gase. He doesn't.
That's true.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot, but he tells.
We just get it's one man's of it. The opinions of Jake Seeley do not represent the opinions of the Athletic as a whole,
or JockMKT.
Shout out to JockMKT.
He's not the smartest man at running a football team.
All right.
But when he has an opinion, he's pretty adamant about it.
Fair enough. Okay, so you think he's telling the truth and he's going to run Le'Veon Bell out? I mean, if you're coaching for your job, really, which I think he might be, you might as well run Le'Veon Bell out there. But the question is, I guess it's not a really start-sit question, right? Because most people, if you got him coming back, you're going to start him.
No, I see a lot of people who don't want to start him. So
really?
I'll start him. I mean, I don't know how deep you could possibly be at running backs where you don't have to start him.
Well, how about this? If you don't want to start him, are you telling people you should be starting him, though?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd rather put it this way. Here, I'll go through a few quick. I'm not going to give away, was it the cow or the milk without the cow or whatever that saying is?
I think you're mixing up maxims there.
I'll start him over the back half of a Justin Jackson or Phillip Lindsay types.
Why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free?
That's it.
Which I think applies here.
I said cow and milk. I got part of it.
Yeah. Okay, cool. We got a couple questions coming in already on Darrell Henderson. This is from Honest Man 1. Should I trust failed Darrell Henderson season over Higgins or Shenault? Or what's your take on Darrell Henderson? We got some of these Darrell Hendersons coming.
My take is something we've talked about on the podcast, something mentioned in the article. And I only say that because it's out there. If you don't subscribe, it's only $1. You can go read and listen to all this stuff.
Throw out the code, Jake. Throw out the code.
What, the code?
Theathletic.com/cheat sheet.
Oh, the name of the show. Yeah, easy for people to remember.
$1 a month. Can't be.
So, no, the only reason I bring that up is in case people are sitting there like, yes, we've heard you say this 2 or 3 times. For the people that haven't. We don't know what Sean McVay is going to do. Actually, Jordan Rodriguez even tweeted this out. She said, I don't know who to tell you to start in fantasy because we don't know what Sean McVay is going to do. The thing that we brought up is that coaches will try to, present a game plan and go in with it. And they're very reluctant to change in game of what they thought they were going to get away with.
Right.
That's the Nyheim Hines use. So I don't know if Henderson did something in practice. I don't know if he didn't like Henderson for the pass blocking, but if that's the case, the pass blocking, Malcolm Brown's a better pass blocker, and you have a pass rush coming this week as well. So that would lean me against playing Henderson, especially with Akers back.
Jake, a lot of people got Justin Jackson. In fact, I believe he was the number 2 most added behind Damien Harris. We'll talk about both of them. Damien Harris and Justin Jackson being added in a lot of leagues over at CBS, plus 39%, stuff like that. Are they immediately... I know your feelings on Ernest Johnson. We talked about it Tuesday. But are these 2 immediately plug-and-plays? Are they guys you just want to, flex at worst, maybe even consider RB2?
Harris, yes. Jackson, I'd still play Le'Veon Bell. I'd still go Le'Veon Bell over Damien Harris at this point because Damien Harris is the Patriots' backfield. It's like, yes, it looked great. He should be in the lead. This was all the reasons we had concerns of Sony Michel's value, even before he got hurt. But
this is still going back to last year. People loved Damien Harris last year, and then
Damien Harris in college made people question whether Josh Jacobs was as good or if it was the product of no. They brought up, like, is it the system? Is Damien Harris just as good? Like, so I bring that up to say, remember the talent, but it's the backfield. The only person you trust is James White. They were down in that game. James White was on the field the most late. Damien Harris did better, but James White's out there for passing downs, and they sprinkle him in the run game. So it's not obvious he's only out there for passing downs. So I still only trust James White. I would like to play Damien Harris, but I don't know if you necessarily, it's not a must start. And Justin Jackson, we've brought up many times before, if they keep the same offense, he might be the 60 of the 60-40 split. But do you want to risk that this week? You know, that's really comes down to you if you're going for that boom or bust. You could end up with 2 points with Justin Jackson.
I always go boom though, Jake.
You like to, you're optimistic.
Oh, that's who's the guy? I already forgot.
That's why we balance each other out.
The guy, oh man. Total Nando guy. Gabe Niels.
Kapler?
No. The dude on the Chargers, the guy who came in as like a tight end, they turned him to running back. He played a bunch of snaps last week. I'm gonna look it up.
Turn him into a running back.
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up.
Oh,
you answer this question. It's Gabe.
Yeah, because he's got a weird name. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. What
like
about
Gabe
him?
Niels. It's something like that.
Neil. Yeah. What about him?
Just want to know if you'd be mad if I picked him up in the Scott Fish Bowl.
Scott Fishbowl, I was lucky to put together an entire roster last week. So Scott Fishbowl, I'm already out of that one.
I'm going to find this. Answer the question on the screen while I go look up his name.
Melvin Gordon versus Jerick McKinnon?
Yeah.
I don't understand what that has to do with Jerick McKinnon or Austin Eckler, though.
Well, I just don't know why it's a serious question. Aren't they all serious? It's Gabe Neighbors. Gabe Neighbors. Nabers.
No, if he told me Niels, I thought it was I was thinking Niels. Is that there's another guy like when you said the Neil thing. But anyway,
you got Gabe Neighbors. He's legit.
So Melvin Gordon, you can't even put him at running back. I tried in the rankings this week. They won't let you. You have to put him at tight end because as you mentioned, he's converted from tight end.
He played
Melvin Gordon
13% of the offensive snaps last week, Jake.
Okay, yeah, Melvin Gordon. And I'm not even the biggest Melvin Gordon fan. I'm trying to answer the question.
You kept bringing up that I was done, and you're like, well, I can't put him in tight end. I thought you were talking about Melvin Gordon.
Yeah, you can't put him at tight end. You
Go ahead, Jake.
What I said. You can't put him at running back. I answered the question.
All right, here's another one from Dilly Deuce. Do you think that Edmonds and guys like Edmonds and Jackson could be major risers after this week? I think that answer is yeah, I hope. But yes, I would think so, right?
We kind of already answered this question as yes, it could happen.
I think he means are they going to go from like 57% to like 98%, right?
They could.
Yeah.
You mean on rosters, not usage.
Right. Yeah, I think it's more terms of like, okay, you're kind of almost begrudgingly adding a couple of them because you have to, because they have enough volume where you just need to pick them up. But are they going to be so awesome in week 5 that week 6 is going to be like this massive scramble where maybe like they mainstream? How about that, Jake?
Jackson more so than Edmonds. I mean, Edmonds is going to really come down to if Cliff Kingsbury just rips the cord on Kenyon Drake.
I don't think he's gonna.
That's what I'm saying.
It's weird because Kingsbury, like usually, look, perfect example. Washington, Ron Rivera brought in his own guy. Scott Turner's got his guy now. And so they got rid of Dwayne Haskins and they brought in Kyle Allen. Arizona went and traded for Kenyon Drake, who was, outside of Kyler Murray, was like Cliff Kingsbury's, you'd assume, his guy because he brought him in. Edmonds was already there. So you would think that he'd rely on Drake a little more, but maybe he's not one of those crazy ego coaches, Jake. Maybe,
but if that's the case, then he might have wanted to turn to Edmonds last week.
Well, hey, whatever. Maybe he's slowly doing it just to,
week by week. Well, that's why I said Jackson's the better chance between the two. Because Jackson, like this situation with Kelly is we're all assuming Kelly's the guy.
We love you too, Prodigy Fantasy.
Seriously.
Right.
Seriously.
Whatever. Jake, let me get a couple more questions from myself here. But, representing the people. Can you trust Phillip Lindsay and David Montgomery? Phillip Lindsay with a turf toe, David Montgomery with a bad matchup. What are you doing with those two?
I'd start Montgomery because I trust his workload. I do like Phillip Lindsay. You know that. This is the real reason I was down on Melvin Gordon. Not that I didn't think Melvin Gordon was an RB2. I didn't just think he deserved to be in the top 15. And we saw in week 1, Phillip Lindsay came out 50-50 and looked better in that initial stretch. So but the turf toe is an issue. The turf toes are things that linger with people throughout an entire season. So I'd be reluctant to just go ahead and plug him in there, but I have Lindsay just outside wide receiver, running back 3 conversation. Like, yeah, I have him, I think, somewhere around 40.
Is that going to change in the next couple of weeks? Like, if someone's trying to make some deals and they got Phillip Lindsay and they're like, well, let me just get the temperature of Phillip Lindsay right now. Is that because he's coming back? They're going to slowly bring him back, or is he forever going to be kind of now? Maybe
no, he's down there because of the risk.
Right.
If I knew Phillip Lindsay was 100%, we saw in week 1, Melvin Gordon would be probably around RB20, and Phillip Lindsay would be like RB30.
So what do you think his trade worth is? Is he like Adam Thielen? I'm assuming that someone's going to be trading him for someone outside of the same position.
No, Adam Thielen's way too much.
All right.
Robbie Anderson? No, that's still too much.
DJ Moore, slumping DJ Moore for Phillip Lindsay.
I mean, you could but you're selling low. You're not going to get the peak value of Phillip Lindsay right now.
But that's also not the peak value for DJ Moore. You're both kind of spreading the risk.
Right. You want to sell high on somebody if you're going to go get Phillip Lindsay.
Keep the questions coming, by the way. You're on Facebook. You're on YouTube.
Tim Patrick for Phillip Lindsay.
I think I don't want the Phillip Lindsay side.
That's the point of why I brought up a conversation of those two.
Well, all right, I know, but I'm just saying. Vithakar 11 wants to know Montgomery or Kelly this week.
Check the link.
Just tell him, Jake. Come on.
Joshua Kelly.
Be a guy, Jake. Come on.
Why wouldn't you want to go over the upside of Joshua Kelly? This is similar to last week with Justin Jefferson. Like, even though I didn't put Justin Jefferson inside the top 25 wide receivers, he was inside the top 35-ish or so. And it's like, but I also said, why did you pick him up? Like, this excitement. Why don't you want to start him? Start him and see like the potential that you could get.
You're supposed to be the guy on the level here, Jake, who's like, get your emotions out of it, and here's what the numbers are.
No. I'm on the level in the fact that what's the floor difference between David Montgomery and Joshua Kelly?
I don't know. What is it?
They're the same floor. Who has more upside? Joshua Kelly.
Okay. Jake, give FF Grinder a Deer Park chug. Morning coffee.
I already did. Sponsored by Deer Park as well.
By the way, we got another sponsor, Manscaped. For those of you who, you probably listen to our podcast. You probably heard of Manscaped all over the place. But we are offering 20% off. Go to manscaped.com, put in athletic20, and you'll get 20% off. That easy. Right, Jake? There you go. Jake's got a Manscaped. He's got what's it called? I forget. Reduces nicks and scratches. The lawnmower 2.0. That's it. It's actually not, Jake, you think like, all right, Manscaped, it's probably just a thing, but they're actually used to they got some heft to it, right? It's like they're actually like very, very professional.
Oh, I was thinking more of the fact that that guard is the way that they set it up, that you can't cut yourself with it.
That's actually pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't partake. I can show you more, Jake, but
you might shave your chest.
I don't. I do. No, I don't.
You might have Zeke in your pants, like they say.
Maybe, but who doesn't? Anyway, shout out to Manscaped. Also, shout out to JockMKT. We love you both.
Does really well on the armpits, I can tell you that much.
That's weird that you shave your armpits.
I don't shave them down. I take care of them.
You manscape them.
I don't want his Zeke in a headlock.
Keep the start sick questions coming in. Let's get Jake back on track. Higher floor this week, Jake, from Andrew C. Duke Johnson, Burkhead, Akers, Zach Moss. And let's assume, if you're asking this question, it looks like a PPR question to me.
It looks like none. They're all 0 potentials. Duke Johnson, but
what happened to you freeing Duke Johnson? You were all about that earlier.
I am, but that doesn't mean necessarily it's going to happen. So, like, Burkhead is getting touches. Still got touches last week with Damien Harris, but what's the floor even with him? Like 3? Akers could not even be part of the equation. Zach Moss 3. Duke Johnson. They're all like 3 or 4. Their floors are like 3 or 4 fantasy points. Duke Johnson.
Here's trade question from it's Mikey Mercer. Merce? Mike, if you're still listening, just shoot us a pronunciation, please. Looking to sell off Mike Davis is looking at Deontay Johnson or Jefferson too rich, all things equal.
Yeah, but if you can go get it, go get it. I don't know how many times.
Put the trade out, right?
No, but you also go back and read the intro that everybody skipped past and still asked trade questions. I broke down how to be a better trader last week's rankings, and this is a perfect example of that. Like Mike Davis, for that person, does he need a running back? Does he have flush with wide receivers? If Deontay Johnson's his 3rd wide receiver and he needs running backs, it's still not going to even matter. Like, all these things come into context.
Right.
But
True.
get rid of Mike Davis before it's too late. I do agree with trying. Because
that's the problem. Everyone knows that the expiration date's there, so I'm not sure you can get much from Mike Davis.
But we know Christian McCaffrey's not coming back next week, so you still get potentially 2 games out of him.
What's that worth, though? Wouldn't you rather have a guy for the playoffs?
But Deontay Johnson might not even play this week. So
true.
that's why Deontay Johnson's probably fine. Justin Jefferson, I can tell you're probably going to get an auto no on that one.
I think you'd have to go with someone who's even lower than that. Like,
no, maybe. You understand? Like, go read through the comments on the rankings page of all these trades. By the way, if you want somebody to like trade for right now, apparently everybody and their brother is trying to get rid of Todd Gurley. So there you go.
Oh, that's all right. That's cool. I like that. I can get behind that. Jake, Devontae Freeman. What's the progression of Devontae Freeman going to be? And at what point will he be like 17 carries for 81 yards and a touchdown? When should we expect that Devontae Freeman back?
I think you can expect it this week against the Cowboys defense, but I wouldn't say they expect it every single week. He had 54% of the snaps last week. He's their guy, but their offensive line is still trash. Daniel Jones is playing like trash. Their wide receivers, including Evan Ingram at tight end, can't get open and are playing like trash. This entire team is trash.
How do you feel about the Giants?
They're trash.
All right. Here's a good question, actually, from Deesh Dean. I like this one a lot. Favorite low-end streaming quarterback who's going to be 20-plus in the ranks?
If you have to go that low, I'm sorry. Like, what the heck are you doing? But it's
you're watching a fantasy video in the middle of the day and asking Jake Seeley, the world's best ranker, who to pick.
Joe Flacco.
Oh, really? Is he your favorite?
If you're going 20-plus.
All right, I mean, that's still 12 quarterbacks. Oh, I'm sorry, buys. 10 quarterbacks, Titans, 9 quarterbacks.
I mean, it might be 7 quarterbacks before we get too. Yeah,
that's true. Good point.
But I mean, look, this is what we're talking about in the 20s. Garoppolo, that's a solid one. Actually, Garoppolo and Flacco I have at 21 and 22. But we're talking about Wentz, Mayfield, Phillip Rivers, Nick Foles, and then all these other schleps.
You're making me like we've done. This is our 3rd show together this week, and Flacco's come up every time, and you're almost turning me into a Joe Flacco, not a fan, but like almost like a believer, Jake.
And it's not a believer. It's Joe Flacco. Is Joe Flacco. He's better than trying to roll out the like. Let's see. Who are you trying to roll out? The back? Like, we still don't even know if. Where's the one I was looking at? Oh, Denver. Who's starting for Denver? Sounds like it's Brett Rippon, but you're not starting Kyle Allen. This sounds like it might be Stidham again, but they might go back to Brian Hoyer.
Why are we not starting Kyle Allen? He knows the Carolina system, Jake. He's the greatest guy ever, right?
Have you seen Kyle Allen play? That's why you're not starting Kyle
Scott
Allen.
Turner's guy, though, Jake.
If Scott Turner makes Kyle Allen even look like Jared Goff, then he deserves to be thought of as Sean McVay.
I mean, right now you got to beat a 317-yard game against the Ravens and a rushing touchdown, which is what Dwayne Haskins gave you, and you're replacing that against the Ravens.
I don't even know how many good games Kyle Allen has to his career. One?
I think, you know what I think it was? He came out of nowhere, maybe in like the first 3 weeks when he replaced Cam, and everyone's like, oh my God, this guy's amazing. And then it just all kind of slowly like
he had the Arizona game, and that's also no Patrick Peterson last year at that time. And then he had the game against the Saints in New Orleans. And then the Redskins. Oh, yeah, no. At the time, they were the Redskins. He had a rushing touchdown and 2 passing touchdowns. So he had 3 good fantasy games last year.
All right, Jake. Let's rapid fire some more start sit questions out of here. Okay.
Okay.
Need a tight end this week. Greg Olsen or Jimmy Graham from Phil Snyder.
Why aren't you rolling with Jimmy Graham? I don't believe in him at this point of his career, but he's been getting looks now that Nick Foles has taken over.
Srikanth wants to know: pick one, Claypool, Ward, or Deshaun Jackson. Deshaun Jackson.
Your team is rough. If Deontay Johnson's out, I'll risk Claypool's upside. So check on Deontay Johnson. If not, Greg Ward.
Jake,
even with Deshaun Jackson back.
Is this an area where if AJ Green's on the waiver wire, you're like, oh, maybe I'll give him a shot instead?
At this point, between Deshaun Jackson and AJ Green, they're basically the same.
I like Deshaun Jackson, man. Just doesn't.
Deshaun Jackson's been the number 1 since week 1 until he got hurt, but he's been the number 1 while healthy and has done nothing.
All right, fair enough. Hamed's got a question: Damien Harris or David Montgomery?
That's your call. David Montgomery's the safe one. Not a great matchup. Damien Harris could get you 15. Damien Harris could get you 2.
That's the problem. Yeah.
That's why I said it's your call. What do you want? Do you want the floor or do you want the home run play?
My call or Hamed's call?
Home run because baseball is about to come on.
All right, then let's get out of here, Jake. 2 more questions. Ready? Q Crew, Ronald Jones or Antonio Gibson for flex. That's a deep, nice roster, by the way, man. Good job.
Both?
All right. Find
Trade
a way.
One.
Find a way.
Get rid of Ronald Jones before Leonard Fournette comes back. Do it. But Ronald Jones this week.
Here's another Antonio Gibson question. He's being offered CeeDee Lamb for Antonio Gibson. What do you think?
I pass. I don't know why everybody there's so many questions where people are asking. I'll go back to the Gurley. Should I trade Todd Gurley? And he's their second best running back. People are just willing. Stop trading away running backs. Do you look at half the rest of your league that's desperate for them? And I'm not talking about stash Antonio Gibson is your fifth running back, but if Antonio Gibson is your third, buys are coming up. You're going to need two running backs. You're going to need a third running back. Buys are coming up. One injury hits you during that buys, and all of a sudden you're down one running back.
All right. I agree. Sorry. I'm just scanning through. We got a lot of questions. Scanning through the last one. The big last question for Jake Seeley. You ready?
Okay.
It's from FF Grinder. Our guy. Pick one. Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Pancakes it is.
Cinnamon roll pancakes, to be specific.
Anything else you like whipped cream on those, Jake?
No, whipped cream is a waste of time.
Thank you all very much for joining us.
Whipped cream is trash, just like the Giants.
Keep going. I'll wait.
I'm just saying. Put whipped cream on the Giants. What does it do? Still trash.
It slowly melts like it does on everything. Anyway, thank you all for joining us. If you enjoy what you saw, theathletic.com/cheat sheet gets you the entire site. Subscription to The Athletic. Brag to your friends and family for $1 a month, which is the lowest price you'll ever find forever and ever. And I don't know how much longer this is going to last, but you will get the rest of the football season, the rest of the fantasy football season, and then everything from NWSL coverage to Clemson. So it's all included in the $1 a month that you'll be paying. Yeah. No ads, easy on the eyes. Jake?
Can I put No, I can't. I was going to say, see? Right there. Don't trade RBs. I traded Kelly for DJ Moore last week, and I regret it.
Where are you reading that?
In the comments. I can't post comments. Only you can.
Do you want me to post that one? There you go.
Proof.
Srikanth. Anyway, enough for my big goodbye then. Thanks for ruining that, Jake. Thank you all for joining us. We do hope you enjoyed this. Thanks to Manscaped, manscaped.com. Use code athletic20 to get 20% off. Thanks to JockMKT. You guys are awesome. We'll see you at JockMKT presents the big show on Sunday. We'll be back from 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. answering a bunch of questions. We'll have a beat writer. We got to pick the beat writer still. I'm thinking Atlanta. Atlanta might be a good one. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Jake and I are out of here.